Kelly Lang, Keith Morrison, Fritz Coleman Weather, Fred Rogan, Sports, and Doug Kriegel, Money Matters. Channel 4 News at 6.
Good evening. Top story on the news at 6 o'clock. The FAA is now confirming that there has been a plane crash in Birmingham, Alabama. 18 people have been killed, 14 of them on the airplane, 4 others on the ground. The plane was a commuter Beechcraft B-99 flown by the L'Express commuter airline. It was said to be carrying 13 passengers and 2 crew members. We are told that the airplane hit 2 houses. The flight originated in New Orleans. It stopped in Mobile, Alabama, but it crashed just short of the airport in Birmingham.
Now, the big story about the Christopher Commission, and the question, is L.A. Police Chief Daryl Gates the victim of a palace coup done in by his own top brass? That was one spin on the Christopher Commission findings today as Gates went on the offensive this morning. Laurel Erickson reports.
Our subject, the news story of Los Angeles, of California, and probably of the nation today, the findings of the Christopher Commission.
Los Angeles residents found their police chief, Daryl Gates, still in the saddle, on the airwaves with radio talk show host Michael Jackson.
That's a good question.
And on the newspaper editorial page. Chief Gates, defiant, determined, but the commander-in-chief now knows he may have been done in by criticism from his own top brass.
Well, I'm very disappointed, extremely disappointed. Those are individuals that I brought along in this department. I've promoted, I've nurtured, I've counseled, I've dealt with in personal situations, and it's very troubling to see them deal in this fashion.
I did not believe I was going behind anybody's back. I did not believe I was undercutting anyone. I believed that I was expressing my opinions.
Deputy Chief David Dotson would have been police chief had the police commission succeeded in ousting his boss a few months ago.
Or are you the opportunist who's talking about what should be done, or how do you see yourself?
No, I am part of the problem, and if you'll look at my statements that have been published before the commission, I used we a lot, and I mean we, and I include myself as part of the problem. I am willing to explore new ways of doing things. I am willing to change.
I'm not quite sure why or what the motives were.
I think we all should be willing to explore other alternatives.
Do you want to be, would you like to be the police chief who oversees these changes?
I think that I would very much like to be the chief of police. I've never made any secret of that in the last 4 or 5 years.
Laurel Erickson, Channel 4 News, Parker Center.
Meantime, the Christopher Commission made public the computer messages today, which were the prime indicators of racism and bias in the LAPD. These messages reveal a workaday world of patrol officers who often displayed callousness and a contempt for the public that they were sworn to protect and serve. Here are a few examples as they were written with misspellings and grammatical errors. Batten down the hatches, several thousand Zulus approaching from the north. Another message goes like this: I'm not happy until I've violated somebody's civil rights, and then I put them in jail. That ruins their day, but it makes mine. And another example: if you encounter these Negroes, shoot first and ask questions later. The Christopher Commission report released yesterday noted that officers had very little concern that they might be disciplined or sanctioned for making such remarks. And no surprise, perhaps, the Christopher report is getting negative reviews from the many Los Angeles police officers. Some officers question the Commission's findings that the LAPD is undisciplined.
In my 22 years, haven't seen the problems that this Christopher Commission apparently has come out with.
And some officers say the Christopher Commission report has brought the LAPD to a low point.
The motivation's down because of all this that's going on, and it's depressing.
But they also say the morale of the LAPD will bounce back given time.
And as he promised yesterday, Mayor Bradley is giving Police Chief Gates another strong hint. The mayor is having the city personnel department put together a plan to find a new police chief should Gates step down. And LA City Council committees began discussing the recommendations of the Christopher Commission report. They will consider the police chief's term and the future of the current chief.
I think we need the chief's help and other heads of the department, as well as the rank and file on the department, to implement and to begin the procedures that are going to be necessary to implement the recommendation.
If the next chief happens to be someone appointed under the existing rules, that's just going to be one of the burdens we have to bear. I think it's important that we move.
The mayor says he has asked Chief Gates to reevaluate the response he gave yesterday to the commission recommendations.
Other news this day, a suspect is in custody in connection with the shooting deaths of 2 young men at a Northridge sandwich shop 2 weeks ago. But as Elizabeth Anderson reports, the pain for the families of the victims goes on.
It's an awful, awful experience, something you can't describe, to lose your son.
Christine White says words can't describe her grief, but her face says it all.
James, my son, was 6'2", still growing, blonde-haired, blue-eyed like he'd always been, cheerful, the one that in a group would make you happy.
James White's life ended when he was only 19. It happened last month as he closed up the Subway shop where he worked. Suddenly, a man fitting this description walked in, robbed the place, shot White, and then turned and shot White's best friend, 18-year-old Brian Berry.
It just shocks the human conscience to think that someone would do something so incredibly brutal for a few dollars.
2 weeks after these flyers went up offering a reward, the police arrested a former Subway employee, 23-year-old James Robinson.
I also hope that maybe that's preventing some other family from being faced with a situation like this.
As detectives arrested Robinson at his apartment Tuesday night, they say they also found something else, the handgun that killed White and Berry.
There's no words. I don't understand.
It was the help of an outraged community, a tip that ultimately led the police to James Robinson. It is why they arrested him, put him behind bars, and why he will face a judge for his arraignment on Thursday. And when he does, the victim's family will be watching. At the Devonshire Division of the LAPD, Elizabeth Anderson, Channel 4 News.
And there is a disturbing report from medical researchers tonight which says that asthma is striking and killing more people than ever before, and that it might be more than just an inherited disease. A study published in today's Journal of the American Medical Association reports the culprit in the rise of asthma cases may be a microorganism which seems to take root in the lungs and brings on the asthma, usually after the patient has suffered some other disease.
This new information indicates that there are bacteria or infectious organisms that are like bacteria that can cause enough inflammation in the lung that asthma can actually be, can come on with no previous history.
The increase in asthma apparently occurring all around the world. Workers at Pacific Bell office in Garden Grove are worried tonight about a different sort of medical problem. 15 people who work in this building have been diagnosed with one form of cancer or other. The company has tested the air, the water, the building. No clue that the work environment is causing the problem. So beginning tomorrow, scientists will be looking into whether electromagnetic fields might be involved. Electrical fields have never been proven to cause cancer, but the theory has been widely studied, and some people do worry about that.
Okay, we go to the weather next, and Mother Nature is threatening to put a wrinkle in our view of the eclipse here in Southern California. So Christopher will explain all of that for you.
And residents near some state forest areas say that budget cutbacks are very dangerous when it comes to their homes.
Well, after all, it's still a car. It's not like it had 6 wheels or nuclear power or something. But what it is the first car made in this country, from scratch. The way it's made. The way people care about how it's made. It's all new. We're proud of this car. It shows what you can do when you're willing to start all over again.
Communication's tricky when you're hungry. Okay, I'll go, but nowhere fancy.
Meaning nowhere expensive.
Well, I want real food.
Meaning the steak and broiled shrimp platter at Sizzler. Fresh cut USDA sirloin, grilled just the way you like it, and plump, succulent shrimp, delicately seasoned and broiled to savory perfection. Steak and broiled shrimp. It's exactly what you're looking for.
Sizzler.
Buffet, court, and grill. Meaning?
Everyone satisfied?
Mm-hmm.
Smart businesses everywhere are discovering the post office. For dependable service and true value, there's Priority Mail, with delivery in 2 days for $2.90. To keep dollars flowing and help the bottom line, there's Express Mail, with delivery guaranteed next morning for just $9.95. For speed, reliability, and overall value, no one delivers for growing businesses like your post office.
We deliver for you.
Well, it is officially fire season in the state of California, and we are told it could get a whole lot worse. The State Forestry Department is facing a $41 million budget shortfall, and that could mean up to 1,000 firefighters laid off. Many fire departments are already feeling the financial heat.
Our hazardous materials team. We have unstaffed 4 fire stations as of July 1st.
Riverside CDF says it may be forced to close even more stations depending on the state budget. It's all about money here. Huh?
And of course, depending on the weather a little bit too. Wonder what sort of summer we'll have, and wonder what's tomorrow going to be like.
I would like for it to stay like this. We have that haze in the morning.
We know you would like that, but what's it going to
do? But the folks that want to see the eclipse, they don't want the haze. They don't want the clouds. They want to see a direct eclipse from Southern California, and it's not going to be that way.
Because it'll be another 86 years or whatever before.
And who has time to wait for that?
Really?
You can't microwave this. No way. But we're going to see the clouds along the coast. We're going to see the fog and the poor visibility. You're going to have to go inland if you live along the coastline tomorrow morning. Or, Keith Kelly, tune in Channel 4, 10:15 tomorrow morning. Watch it on TV.
Of course.
Solved all the problems once again. Outside we go. I've got some pictures to show you. Pretty, very nice. Yeah, the eclipse will look kind of like that. Dark spot in the middle and then light around the edges. There we go. Symbolism, I live for it. 76 for our high today, 63 for our low. 103 was our record high on this date. But in the valley, it is cranking up there into the 80s and the 90s, so it's quite warm there, but cool along our coast. 72 is where we sit now. Barometer still hasn't moved. It's 29.93 inches. Relative humidity at 67%. Winds are out of the southeast at 9 miles an hour. And the almanac information says that sun will rise bright and early tomorrow at 5:49, setting tomorrow night at 8:07. And here's our first map. West Coast graphic shows why the haze is going to be so dense along the coast. The heat in the deserts is tremendous. 100-degree temperatures being hit by 10 o'clock in the morning. That hot air rises rapidly, draws in cooler air, which comes from the coast. As that cooler air moves in, it ushers in the fog along with it. The fog gets dense along the coast, giving us hazy weather for the eclipse. Put the maps into motion, please. You can see how the heat here rises rapidly, pushing the clouds away, but it draws in the fog along the coast. It just doesn't burn off until late into the afternoon. Air quality, because of this action, is still kind of iffy. Sometimes in the afternoon we get that haze, but in the morning it's pretty good. In the morning this is how it looks, but in the afternoon we're going to see some of this unhealthful air start to drift into the coastal regions, and the good air is going to disappear. Let's move into the forecast numbers for tonight. Santa Barbara, it's going to be like this for you tonight. Foggy along the coast, 56 degrees. Catalina, 63 for a low. Same with Santa Monica and Long Beach. Pasadena at 60 degrees for a low. Then tomorrow, Palm Springs, 107. Santa Barbara at 73. Moving right on into the forecast now. This is the way it's going to be tonight. Overcast and breezy. Tomorrow, hazy and warm. Here's your 5-day. Hazy skies, especially along the coast. Go inland if you want to see the eclipse, or watch Channel 4 at 10:15. We'll take it live going all the way to Hawaii. And then thunderstorms by this weekend, but it's still going to be hot and humid and extreme fire danger. See you tonight at 11.
Yeah.
You will indeed. Okay, thank you very much. Now we've got Money Matters next, and the toy company that brought us Ken and Barbie is now ready to put out a line of dolls for minority children. We're going to show you exactly, there they are, what they look like. Money Matters next.
He had 9 yachts, 10 cars, 4 mansions, and a plane. James Kimberly was the ultimate Palm Beach playboy, heir to the Kleenex tissue fortune, until his young wife helped him blow his millions. Not only did she squander his fortune with pricey spending sprees, she made headlines as the other woman in the Roxanne Pulitzer scandal. How Jackie Kimberly shocked millionaire husband into financial and social ruin on the next Hard Copy. at 7:30 only on Channel 4.
Discover the Daily Difference. 5 special reports each week that'll make a difference in your life. The Daily Difference. Only on NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
The thing about living in Southern California is you always know how much more money everyone else makes. I mean, every car you see costs more than dental school. Your only defense is to find a car that can hold its own in fast company. Like my new Sentra GXE. It has European styling, powerful engine, and optional anti-lock brakes. All this and great gas mileage. It may be the perfect car for Southern California, because you can look like you've got it all without spending all you've got.
Road and Track has voted our 1991 Sentra XE best sedan under $10,000.
Cruising, I feel, is something that a lot of people dream about.
Somewhere between a wish and a dream, somewhere.
Somewhere is here on a princess cruise.
Somewhere between a wave and the sea, between a glance and a touch, somewhere.
Somewhere. Only on Princess. It's more than a cruise. It's the Love Boat.
Quality. It isn't something that just happens. It's the product of experience. Throughout the real estate industry, one name stands for experience: RE/MAX. Our sales associates average nearly 10 years of experience, some more than 30. So before you buy or sell a home, remember the quality that comes only from experience. Choose RE/MAX.
Selling homes now. RE/MAX experience.
Okay, here's Doug Krieger with Money Matters, and Mattel Toy comes out with a more universal product, yes?
Yeah, that's right. Do you know the most successful toy in American history? Do you know what it is?
Isn't it?
It's the Barbie doll. Some people think it's Nintendo, but it is the Barbie doll. Now Mattel, which made Barbie, is introducing a new line of African American dolls, and these are definitely not meant to be Barbie dolls. When little white girls go shopping for dolls, it's quite natural for them to select a white doll from the many on sale in stores.
This is not too much, is it?
And when little black girls go shopping, they usually face the same selection of mostly white dolls or black dolls that look like white people. What kind of dolls do you like?
I like white dolls.
How about black dolls?
No.
This bothers many black parents like Kathy Fields, who is worried that her daughter's self-image could be hurt by the absence of authentic-looking black dolls on the market.
When we grew up, they had mostly just white dolls and didn't have many blacks for us to play with, so now they started making more, and I have a daughter that's 2 years old, and I'd be glad for her to play with black dolls.
Why would you rather have her play with a black doll?
Well, I guess it's because my nationality is black.
Now the Mattel Toy Company in El Segundo is coming out with a new line of authentic-looking black dolls. These dolls have features and bodies that more closely resemble African-American women. The product manager is Deborah Mitchell.
One of the things a little girl will do with the doll is pretend, that the doll has a career, that she's an astronaut, or pretend that she's a teacher, or pretend that she's a movie star, or pretend that she's a businesswoman. It allows that the vehicle that they're doing this through is in their own image.
Some African-American critics claim the hair on this Shawnee doll is not really authentic, and Mattel sort of agrees.
We know that little girls love to comb a doll's hair, and that's something, that is the #1 thing that they love to do with a doll.
Mattel expects to make lots of money with these Shawnee dolls. Next year, they're coming out with boy dolls. Do you have a doll?
No.
Do you want one?
No.
Why not?
Because they're just for girls.
Now, the boy doll they're coming out with is for boys. I don't think boys are ready for dolls yet, or the ones we talk to anyway. But Mattel is also planning a new line of Hispanic dolls if this line does well. Okay, let's go to Wall Street today, where they shot the goose. That is, after a nice run-up of 30 points this morning, greed prevailed. Stocks plunged, ended the day down 2 points. Okay, elsewhere, now that President Bush today said he's reappointing Alan Greenspan as Federal Reserve Chairman, well, will Greenspan now pay the boss back by pushing interest rates down the way the president wants? Stay tuned, we'll see. Greenspan is supposed to be independent. Finally, remember, next Monday, the sales tax in L.A. County goes up to 8.225%. In Orange, Riverside, San Bernardino County, the sales tax goes up to 7.75%. So if you're buying a car or TV, washer, dryer, You can save money by buying before next Monday, although with a car, the tax you pay depends on where you live, not where you buy it. We can thank our friends in Sacramento for those higher sales taxes.
Sacramento.
That's our capital.
That's our capital.
Right.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Doug.
you.
All right, on to sports. It's official. The fight is on. Tyson versus Holyfield. You know that's going to be a pricey ticket. Also, an injury may change the leader in the Tour de France.
And football training camps are opening up. The players are, the players and others
You
ready
okay?
for action. Yes.
Money Matters is sponsored by Reuben's, serving live Maine lobster for just $13.95.
Tender live Maine lobsters. Even at Reuben's, we can only get them once a year. Fortunately for you, we've got them right now. Whole live Maine lobster dinners, just $13.95 at Reuben's.
Right now, Charlie Brown's is serving up our live Maine lobster dinners. But at just $13.95, we won't be for long. Whole live Maine lobster dinners, just $13.95 at Charlie Brown's.
There are lots of ways to pick a dentist. Ask a friend, look in the phone book, but what does that really tell you about them? At 1-800-DENTIST, we refer from a select group of dentists, and we have a full profile on each of them. Their education, how many years in practice, what special training they have. And with our dentists, you have the security of knowing that we refer thousands of patients to them every month. So if you need a dentist and you want to make an educated choice, call 1-800-DENTIST today.
To get rid of her gray, my wife can spend 40 minutes. But I discovered the 5-minute hair coloring.
The revolutionary discovery called Just for Men from the leader in men's hair coloring. Simply apply Just for Men and in 5 minutes shampoo out.
Gray is blended away. The look of my natural color is back in 5 minutes. That was me, and it won't fade or wash out.
My hair takes forever, but you look great in just 5 minutes.
The look of your natural color in just 5 minutes with Just for Men.
Find out why Patrick Swayze tried surfing Hawaiian waves and even did his own skydiving stunts in his new film, only on Entertainment Tonight.
Entertainment Tonight at 7.
We have pictures to show you now of a fatal airplane crash in Birmingham, Alabama. Happened late this afternoon our time. That's the crash area. The commuter plane crashed into 2 houses on the ground. A total of 18 people were killed, 14 of them on the airplane and 4 on the ground. Only 1 person survived the crash. That person is in critical condition in the hospital and happens to be the pilot of the commuter Beechcraft B-99 flown by the L'Express commuter airline there in Birmingham, Alabama. So a bad night there.
Oh, that's sad. All right, now we've got Fred and we've got sports, and an injury forces a new leader in the Tour de France.
Right, Kel, today's 5th stage of the Tour de France marred by a bone-breaking accident involving the current leader, Rolf Sorensen. He's in the yellow jersey. He started the day with a 10-second lead over Greg LeMond, but with about 2.5 miles left in the 5th stage, Sorensen was injured in a crash with 5 other riders. He hurt his shoulder. Later, he learned he broke his collarbone. He still finished today's leg by using a teammate's bike. Now, look at Sorensen in the circle as he is riding with one hand holding his injured shoulder. Sorensen finished with a 9-second lead over Greg LeMond, but x-rays confirmed he broke his collarbone. He says he's going to pull out of the race. That being the case, Greg LeMond of America will have a 1-second lead over Ireland's Sean Kelly. On November 8th in Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble. Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson will fight for the heavyweight title. Holyfield guaranteed $30 million, Tyson $15 million, and of course in both cases that is hardly enough to make the mortgage payments. So Holyfield is also guaranteed 60% of revenues over $48 million, and Tyson will get 40% of revenues over $48 million. Who do I like in this one? The IRS. Now, let the hype begin.
we will see what will happen in the center of the ring. I'll be happy there. I'm very delighted for Dan Duva, who will be the promoter, and for his fighter, who is now the current champion. It's only a temporary, fleeting moment. And so, therefore, I can afford to be magnanimous. And it's just a thrill for me to be on the sideline looking in, because the show is with me no matter where you go and how you do it. The show is here, baby.
Hey, stay the same, never change. Basketball, Laker assistant coach Randy Funn signed a new multi-year contract, and the Milwaukee Bucks have signed a veteran free agent center, Moses Malone. We all know the American League made it 4 in a row with a 4-2 win over the National League at the All-Star game last night, but a lot of people don't know this. First inning, Twins Jack Morris on the hill pitching to Bobby Bonilla. There was no score in the game. Bonilla ripped a shot up the middle, and it hit Morris on the foot. And believe you me, that had to hurt. Take a look at the shot. Tony Gwynn scored to give the National League a 1-0 lead. Morris just smiled and shook it off, right? Wrong. Here's the untold story.
Manager come out, Tony come out and asked me how I felt. And, you know, I had to lie to him. I mean, it's the All-Star game. You only go through it a few times in your life, and it's a special day, so I told him everything was fine. And after I got through the next inning, I promptly put some ice on it because it was hurt.
All right, football, the Rams open rookie camp tomorrow in Anaheim. Raiders are going through drills in Oxnard right now. Now, with the players showing up at the NFL training camps, it can't be long before those classic music videos start climbing the charts. In fact, the 1991 season's first production is being done by the Miami Dolphins. It's the Dolphin version of You Can't Touch This.
Music! Miami, so far, make them say, oh my Lord, see that good, and you know you're down, the Super Bowl team, the Super hometown, we're known, and this is the team, you can't touch. And you're the end now. Told you, boy. No, let me bust these football lyrics. Can't touch us, rescue kids and fans, you gotta like that, now you know you want to dance, so move.
Can't touch this, and why would you want to? But anyway, if they move like that on the field, a pretty good year.
Keith wanted to.
Well,
now, wait a minute.
Excuse me.
But thank
you,
you
Fred.
See you later.
Special delivery team takes part in the birth of a special newborn at the Syracuse Zoo. We'll show you the big moment.
A lot of people treat plastic beverage containers, glass bottles, and aluminum cans like garbage. They're not. They can be recycled to help save natural resources, energy, and extend the life of our landfills. So don't throw them in the trash. They're not garbage anymore. Every container counts, and every two are worth a nickel.
Heard about Chevron's great gasoline and grocery giveaway? With over 3 million instant winners?
That's a lot of winners.
You could win the grand prize, free groceries for life.
That's a lot of groceries.
And free Chevron gasoline for life.
That's a lot of gasoline.
Or one of over 3 million free gas and grocery prizes worth up to $10.
That's a lot of fun.
So stop by Chevron, start playing, and start winning.
And now some words of value. Oldsmobile, Cutlass, Supreme. But hurry, they're going fast. For more information, see your Oldsmobile dealer today.
You bought it, Matt. You got to handle it.
If you buy something at Circuit City, then see it advertised for less, just come back. Our low price guarantee means you'll get the difference.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Last week I bought this.
Plus 10% of the difference.
And today I saw this. Just open the paper and there it was.
It's that easy. Here.
That's it?
That's it.
Cool.
I know what I like to eat. That's easy. Making sure it's healthy, that's not so easy. But Healthy Choice makes healthy eating very easy. Because these meals are simply delicious, but all low fat, low cholesterol, and low sodium. If you want good tasting food, there is a choice. And with Healthy Choice, the choice is yours.
Now the choice is yours at breakfast with our new Healthy Choice egg product, hearty breakfast sandwiches, and fruit-filled muffins.
Well, now you have the news tonight at 11. What are
We
you gonna
sure
talk
enough
about?
do. And tonight on Nightside at 11 o'clock, we will be less than 12 hours away from the big eclipse. And tonight, excitement is growing among die-hard eclipse watchers. So we'll have all kinds of details for you, how to do it, where and when, and all of that. Now, attention sports fans and cops and robbers fans. David Sheehan reviews the new movie, Point Break. It's about athletes who are also cops and robbers. All of that on the news at 11. We'll see you then. Kate.
Well, okay. Well, now, President Bush today put his rubber stamp on recommendations to close 34 military facilities all around the country. An independent panel came up with the list to cut costs at the Pentagon. The closures include Fort Ord and the Naval Station at Long Beach, both of them expected. Congress has 45 days to approve or reject the plan, but it can't change the plan.
Okay, it's a happy day in Syracuse. Zookeepers are showing off their new arrival, a baby elephant. Romani, the elephant, gave birth just after 10 o'clock this morning. The new calf is a male, but zookeepers have not given him a name yet. They're all healthy and happy, and everybody's thrilled to death. And that's it for us here at 6.
Here's Tom Brokaw.